Shout out to Helen Short on Twitter for sending me this story, and this one hits close to home as it did happen in the state of Maryland where I currently reside, but it did not happen in the county I live in. This happened in Howard County. If y'all remember, I said before, anything outside of PG County, certain parts of Charles County, and certain areas of Baltimore is pretty much palm colored. Howard County definitely, most definitely is. So this man's name is Karl Tomanek, and you're probably wondering, why is there a picture with him with this big truck with two big bullet holes in the glass? Well, that's because this guy had a shotgun and he shot it at this armored vehicle that was owned by the cops, and that's the damage he did. But if you look at his mugshot, surprise, surprise, he's one, alive, and two, he has no markings, bruises, cuts, abrasions on his face. I think I did a story recently where a palm colored male had did something like this. Well, not something like this, but something involving the cops, and nothing happened. I don't think this would be appropriate for me to say we need to have a discussion about the clear double standards going on in America, because why? It's redundant at this point. It's like a broken record. So let's go ahead and get into it. A Mount Airy man has been arrested alive after Howard County police say he shot at the driver's side windshield of an armored vehicle Thursday while police approached his home to serve a search warrant. Karl Tomanek, age 34, has been charged with attempted first-degree murder and multiple firearms charges, police say Friday. As police approached Tomanek's residence on Schaefersville Road to serve a search warrant in an April burglary, Tomanek exited the home with a shotgun and fired 2 shots at the driver of the vehicle, police said. Bulletproof glass prevented the shots from striking the officer who was driving the armored vehicle. Officers did not return fire after Tomanek fired the shots, police said, and were able to use verbal commands to take Tomanek into custody. No one was injured. Let's dissect that whole paragraph right there. They did not return fire. Have you ever noticed that most times whenever they get into some kind of an altercation with palm colored, they never shoot first? But when it's us, they fire immediately, and we don't even have to have a gun. They just assume. That's number one. Number two, they said they were able to use verbal commands. They don't use verbal commands with us except to be aggressive, and I bet you they didn't use the same tone with him as they do with us. Us is coming at a more aggressive manner, as if they're trying to like yell at you or talk down on you. They'll talk to them in a more meek and calm tone, like they're talking to a child. That's number two. Number three, taken into custody and no one was injured. That's your recipe for privilege in America. Our community almost lost an officer Thursday, Howard Police Chief Lisa Meyer said in a statement. If not for the protection of the armored vehicle, this event would have ended very differently. After taking fire, these officers were able to resolve this very dangerous situation without injury thanks to their outstanding training and judgment, as well as the critical equipment that saved their lives. Let's pay attention to one part that she said. Their outstanding training, to use verbal commands to stop this man instead of firing back. It's amazing their training and their protocol comes into play when dealing with PC. But when it comes to dealing with us, that training and protocol goes out the window as if it didn't even exist. Us versus them. According to Howard County Police spokesperson Sherry Llewellyn, before any search warrant is served on an occupied building, the investigating officer must complete a risk assessment form. A commander reviews the form and may authorize use of tactical resources, including the armored vehicle, based on the risk factors. Some of those risk factors include known possession of weapons, criminal history, and/or prior violent behavior. Police were at the Mount Airy residence Thursday after they identified Tomanek as the suspect in an April burglary in which $25,000 of equipment was stolen. Now look at this. They are just now catching him for a burglary he did back in April of last year. You see how long it took? And that was just for a burglary. You see how long it took for them to catch him? After Tomanek was detained and police searched the house, they found multiple firearms and ammunition. Police also said they found evidence linking him to the April burglary. Tomanek is being held without bond at the Howard County Detention Center. Well, that's probably the only thing on this article that I agree with, is that they didn't give him a bond. A preliminary hearing is scheduled for February 10th in Howard County District Court. But look at all the stuff he was able to do. He's still alive. He was able to shoot at them, burglarize a home, get a verbal talking to, and still get taken in alive. I'm surprised they didn't take him on a pit stop to Wawa. But hey, the BPC in America is to be free in America. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you text the number pinned down in the comments below so you can receive notifications every time I upload a new video, and I'll talk to you in the next one.